So, and I think this is a great point, and it's one of the things that I learned from you, and is in the traditional form of leadership, particularly military. You never hear someone stand up in front of a group of people and say, one of the greatest traits a leader can have is to be curious, because the idea and the picture of a leader is not someone up there asking questions like, "Hey, how do you feel about that? What's your thought about what I just did or what we're doing?" Can you talk about that a little bit, because it's a really, that's one of those concepts where you have to think about leadership differently if you're curious.
Yeah, I think it's one of the most important things. How do you adapt? If you have your truth, right? And that's, and we talk about Barry Jentz's stuff, and Barry Jentz talks about the truth, my sense of the truth. And so often when you think about that military guy, it's the truth, black and white, yes, no, this is the way it is. And then sometimes you'll get them a little bit differently, and they'll go into my sense of the truth, which is, I know the guys don't like this, or I know this, but this is the way it's got to be because my experience tells me this is right. And look, I'm going to tell you, 90% of the time, maybe you can do that in a military environment, maybe. But I think that good leaders get into this my sense of the truth, which is, I think I know what I need to know, but I also know that there's other information out there that could make my decisions better, that could make me more effective, that could make my people more effective. And the only way to get to those answers that are elsewhere is to be curious. Now, good leaders have to balance that curiosity without getting into that analysis paralysis, right? So all this question. Okay, so what about this? And what about this? And at a certain point, I think, you do have to say, all right, I've listened. I think I understand this is direction. But I think people are much more willing to follow that after they've been when they know that they're valued and their thoughts are valued, and you're asking questions and you're asking them things that matter, like, hey, what do you think about this? Or how do you feel about this? Which are not typical leadership questions, but quite honestly, essential to make better decisions for your people, because that's who you're resourcing as a leader.